that you're going to be here. Did you want to, are you just going to talk to us, or do you got some slides you want to share with us?
Oh, okay. Golly, I was thinking I'd just talk to you.
Well, just talk to us. I love that part. I totally love that part.
Okay, well,
I always ask because
okay.
some people really live and die by PowerPoints. I'm not one of those, but some people do.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll just I'll start talking then, and then maybe have some Q&A and just
That sounds awesome.
let it go the way it goes. But okay, I assume we're going to talk about success specifically in this wonderful business and what it takes and the fundamentals. And one of the things that I really had going for me, because I went really fast in Nikan, but on the other hand, I'm probably one of the slowest people. And I just kind of look back when I was in my early 20s, that was the last thing on my mind, was anything to do with sales, marketing, maybe even people. I was pretty happy just kind of being myself. Just being alone would be very entertaining for me. I grew up pretty shy, and my bedroom was more kind of an electronic chemistry lab. You know, I'd go around. That was one thing overcoming was asking for if anybody had an old radio or a TV or something like that, and so things like that were kind of fun. But I went into the Navy, and this is kind of annoying. I know it's just didn't even look. I know it's a spam call. But anyway, went into the Navy with the idea of becoming an electrical engineer, and I thought, you know, that would I'd be able to actually do everything. And that was in '74. I was in boot camp and at 24 years old, so pretty slow learner, developer, or whatever. And after a couple of years being in the Navy, all of a sudden it hit me. Do I really want to do that? I decided I did kind of like people a little bit. I was just in this room with no windows, fluorescent lights. It started at 7. We were out at 3, and up pretty high in the latitude, pretty close to Canada. In the wintertime, it's just dark all the time other than fluorescent lighting. And I remember thinking, do I want to do this for 40 more years? And I just remember thinking, and so after a few years just thinking, well, what do I want to do? All of a sudden it's about time to get out of the Navy, and I'm thinking where I'm going to go now. And then I had a friend who I knew through the Navy, and he was getting out ahead of me by about 9 months, and his career was going to be working with a company, outside sales, straight commission. I remember just thinking, well, that's one thing I know I don't want to do. And of all things, it was lighting, commercial lighting. And I thought, wow, that seems like probably about the worst job that there could be, selling, and of all things, light bulbs. And I just thought, wow. And we kept in touch though. And he just talked about how fun it was. You just go out and meet people, business owners, good people, and they need lights anyway. And you just make friends with a lot of people, and you get paid really good. In fact, 6 months after he got out of the Navy, he moved into a brand new house, and he was making more than an electrical engineer. And I remember just thinking, wow, maybe I could do that, especially when I thought of him, because we were friends for a couple of years, and I knew him, and I loved him, but I didn't think he was that smart. And I just remember thinking, if he could do that, I believe I could do it. And so I went and interviewed with a company, and long story short, they actually turned me down, but I went back and interviewed again, and I was able to convince him to give me a chance. I found out later on that the territory they sent me to, nobody had ever made it. They didn't want to waste a a good territory on somebody that wasn't going to make it anyway. And I'm glad they didn't say that, but I was out there, and oh my goodness, I got humbled really fast. I think about the first 10 days I made $100 or something like that. And we moved to that area, never been there before. Drove in a U-Haul truck with a few pieces of belongings out of the Navy with a little bit of severance, and moved into the cheapest apartment that we could find. And it was cheap. You know, some of the places, you know, they had cars with blocks on them, and it was very low income people. And I remember coming home sometimes after making maybe $10, because there was no income floor at all. It was straight commission. And I can remember thinking, you know, a lot of these people are on assistance or whatever, and I'll bet I'm making less money than anybody in this whole apartment complex. And oh, that was just really scary, especially rent was going to come up pretty soon, and car payment, and I was really scared. And so one of the things I thought was a book I'd read, and talked about just the power of prayer and different things. And I'll tell you, I really believe straight commission salesmen, the ones I know, including myself, we pray a lot. I think the same thing as a farmer, because it's really up to you. You're not insulated with this big corporation where you can be inside there and hide and work real hard, or maybe not so hard. And it doesn't kind of matter so much, just, you know, kind of look busy. And a lot of times you can just kind of get lost in the bureaucracy. But boy, right in commission sales, it's only performance. And so I hit this point where I just didn't have anything left in me, and it wasn't working. And they were going to have a sales manager come and kind of do some training with me, and that was going to be Monday. And I decided that I would fast over the weekend, you know, because there's a lot of places in the scriptures that talk about, you know, fasting, adding that to prayer. And I thought, I really need some help, you know, please. And so I did that all weekend. And so Monday I wake up hungry, and I'm thinking I need to have a breakthrough. And so the sales manager, we met, and we went out and saw people, and he did the thing. And all morning long we were out calling on businesses and sold nothing at all. And I remember, in one way, having this kind of warped sense of satisfaction that see, it isn't so easy here. So you're striking out too. But I thought, hey, wait a minute, you know, if this, I've got to have this go, please. And so that afternoon, we went out, and I remember coming into this Twin City Foods, a big food processing plant, and met with one of the purchasing people, and the sales manager. Something happened, and all of a sudden he ordered almost $2,000 worth of lights, and that was just the neatest thing. I'd made you know, a couple of $100 right there, and then all of a sudden I made 4 or 5 more sales, and made this is like 1978, so it'd be even more now. But I remember we made about $500 that afternoon, and I just thought, wow. And I know that wasn't a coincidence. I really, I've always believed in the power of prayer, but when I hit that, I just thought, wow, if it's important to you, it's interesting to him. And I've heard ideas about, you know, bringing him in as a senior partner in whatever business you're in. And so that was just a real breakthrough for me. And then the rest of the week, everything changed from that point onward. It just, I started doing really well, and I actually tied with another guy for a contest that they were doing, won a trip to Hawaii. We took it in cash, and we wound up moving into a new house 6 months after I got out of the Navy. And so that was kind of cool. And I took the cash to buy a refrigerator and a stove. So anyway, that was the kind of the big breakthrough. And I think that's the same thing, is that's a secret to be successful in this. So I got involved in network marketing. I sold light bulbs along the way to pay for my expensive hobby, network marketing. And but at a point, we got involved with a company at the kind of the beginning of it, and ran with them for about 7 years. And it was some really good nutritional products, and actually hit a point where we were making some pretty good income. You know, not rich or anything, but we had at that time 9 kids, and so not an idle boast. And then all of a sudden that fell apart, and I had to go get a job working for someone else. And if you've been on your own doing something that's fun, and you know, having a business where you can create your own team and have products that make a difference, I just thought, wow, this is wonderful, and I got a taste of that. And then all of a sudden it's gone, and working for somebody else, Intermountain West Insulation. And so that right there was, in a way, a good thing, because it gave me a tremendous amount of inspirational dissatisfaction. It just had me wound up like a spring, because before I kind of thought in my mind, what matters in work? And I thought, well, I think the biggest thing is in a real sense, day to day, is you want to make some income. But other than that, if that's all it is, that's a fairly empty life. You want to feel like you're doing work that matters. And especially if you can actually see good things happening because of your work. And that was what I loved about that nutritional products company. We saw things happen. It was like being on a mission. And so I was excited about getting up and doing things, and creating an asset. And then all of a sudden I had a job, and I thought, I got to get that back. And I'd made a commitment to be there a year. Finally, a year went by, and at that same time I turned 40, and I just thought, wow, here I am, the worst job I've had in my whole life, and still, you know, coming ahead. And wow. And in my mind, I just kind of, okay, the ideal thing would be wake up in the morning, excited about going to work. That wasn't it at all. I dreaded it. Making enough money to meet my needs, not close. We were, you know, week by week, just going further into debt. You know, it's not a fun thing if you got those credit cards that are really high percentage, and you're making minimum payments. It'll take 400 or 500 years to pay them off. It just, oh, you know, seeing thousands of dollars in interest and not seeing anything happen. It just, oh, it was creepy. And of course the work, it made no difference at all. And so I just kind of went back to the light bulb thing. I started praying and praying, please help me find my life's mission. And about that time, I learned about Nikken. And it was actually through a friend of a friend. And I contacted my sponsor. So I've never been contacted by Nikken. I actually was a golden contact. I reached out, so I kind of sponsored myself. and I just I knew this was it. And then that was quickly affirmed when I had, oh, hang on just a second. Let me push the button here. That was quickly affirmed when I discovered just how powerful these products were. And my favorite story still, perhaps, is meeting this wonderful lady, Lena House. At the time, she was 67, and when she was 11 years old, she had fallen off a roof, and that wasn't that bad. It was worse than that, because she had landed on a pile of bricks. So if you can imagine a little girl landing on her back on a pile of bricks. And so 67 years later, still in agony ever since she'd fallen. And she comes to a home meeting, and we get this Nikken sleep system, and it's on a bed in a back bedroom, and she lays on it, and she gets up on the bed and just kind of lays there for a little bit, and all of a sudden just falls asleep. And everyone else is in the living room, and probably 45 minutes goes by and she wakes up, and when she does, she starts to cry. And that was the neatest thing. Uh, she comes in sobbing, and she told everyone, "This is the first time in almost 60 years I have no pain." And I thought, wow. And then that was my launch. I went down, and with a recorder, I remember just sitting at her kitchen table, and we talked, and she told her story. Had a couple of other people, and their story was there, and I put it on a cassette tape, and then just handed that out to lots and lots of people. The people I recruited, I told them that's what I'm doing. It works really well. That was the tape that recruited Reed Nelson as an example, and just over and over again. And I'm really excited because I believe that we're coming back to our roots. This new sleep system that's coming out probably the first part of April. The word is that we'll be able to order it, maybe pre-order it about a month from now, late March, something like that. And it's kind of the original design. It's going to be very portable, a lot easier to carry, less expensive. I think it's going to be free shipping, like the waterfall and some of the other things. And I think, in my own opinion, I think we've gotten a little too fancy on some of the magnetic designs, that sometimes old original is better. I could get into that quite a bit, but I guess that's my electrical engineering kind of thoughts. But when you do something like a power chip, which is amazing, that's really good, but it concentrates and focuses the energy real tight into a closer beam. But if you have just regular magnets that are open and far apart, the field comes up a lot bigger. And so it's more kind of I look at kind of a power chip like a booster charge for a specific area, but the bed is more kind of like a trickle charger for your whole battery, or your whole body, to just the more subtle energy that replicates what the earth is supposed to give us. And just over and over again with that original sleep system, just taking it out and seeing miracles happen. Another favorite story is this lady that we did a meeting, and then she said, would you follow over? I don't live very far away. Could you come over to our house? I want to try it on my bed, because I want to make sure it works. And so we went over there, and we could see why she was concerned, because it was one of those articulating beds, and this new system, it's going to be thinner, so it will articulate better. So anyway, we put that on, and she got up on it and everything, and she had some problems, I think post polio or something. But anyway, she was hurting, and she got up and laid on that, and then she closed her eyes, and we're just kind of quiet. And after a while, all of a sudden she opened up, and then she started just kind of moving around and struggling. And one of her friends is there, and she says, "Alan, what are you trying to do?" And just really seriously, she says, I'm trying to hurt, and I can't." And that was the neatest thing. She that was just, oh wow. And anyway, I could just go on and on with some of the amazing stories we had when we would go over and demo that original pad. And so I'm just really pumped. I think this is confirmed also because I've talked to some other war horses in the business, and they said when the new ones came out, they were loyal on that, but it just didn't seem to work as good. So I hope I'm not being blasphemous or out of thing, but I think now that we're coming back to this thing, I think all of a sudden the original is going to be better. Kind of Back to the Future. Going back is going to make us a better future. So this is just really, really exciting. If you don't know the sleep systems that they have down in Latin America, that's what they're like right now. And when we had some problems with the supply chain and everything, they decided to actually go back and just award this company. We're their only customer at NECAN. And so they're going to manufacture this the same sleep system that they have down there for us up here. And so I'm just really pumped about that. So I think one of the big things, it kind of goes back to light bulbs. So much of my success was just seeing lots of people on a consistent basis, and just really loving them, caring about them, saying my prayers, asking to be led to people to serve and help, and then just hitting it, and then just spending time with people and developing lots of friendships, and then just letting them know what we have. And the thing that's really fun is you can change somebody's life by what they sleep on, or what they drink, and different things. You know, we could tell lots of stories about all of the amazing products that just do miracles. And so I think as time goes forward, I think it's going to be a lot easier to loan the sleep system. Right now, I've got a queen pad, because I think, okay, queen, so both people can sleep on it. And that's kind of the average size bed anyway. But boy, you take the current latex thing, it's almost like a dead body. It's limp and big and heavy. And you take that over and set it up. And I would always just dread having to go pick it up, which I did more often than not. So often with the original, there was a higher percentage of being able to sell it. And so I just think that's going to come back with the new old, or the old new product that we got. So NECAN, a lot of people affectionately refer to it as the sleeping giant, in one sense, that even after all of these years, most people have not heard of NECAN. But also another aspect is that what really makes it work, if you kind of go back through the years, some of the greatest miracles have consistently been miracles wrought by sleeping on the sleep system. And so kind of excited about that. So we're going to have a brand new company in a month and a half or so with this new product. So I think that's just kind of and mentally, I'm going to relaunch. I love mentally just kind of thinking, when I talk to people, right place at the right time. That's a fun thought. If people believe this is the right place at the right time, then they might act on it. And so from a product standpoint and from an opportunity standpoint, you know, just telling people, hey, we're ready, and everybody needs one of these, and nobody has it yet. So those are a few thoughts, but so much of this business is, or any business, something that really stuck in my mind is business is people. If you take away people, there isn't a business. All businesses have something in common, some type of product or service to add value to people's lives. And so the whole thing is just relationships with people. And of course, what we have is really, really awesome things to share, and just going out and making friends. And pretty much everybody that you share this with, it's a story they've never heard before, and it's products that they've never tried before. So I think we could make something of ourselves with this.
So Dave, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some people on here that would like to be doing a relaunch. So what would you tell them the top 3 steps that you would do in order to relaunch with this new product coming out?
I would say mentally, you've got to really get your mind in the thing that you really are going to relaunch. I think anybody that has had a breakthrough, which is what a relaunch is and should be, is it's all up in here, you know, making a decision. So when people meet you, maybe they've heard you before, but all of a sudden they know something has changed. And so you really got to kind of get that in your mind. Okay, am I serious, or am I just gonna say relaunch, and then after a couple of days, just kind of settle back into my old habits and my old ways. And the thing that I love about this as a time to relaunch is because we really do have some things that would validate that Niken is relaunching. You know, we've got new leadership, amazing vision, a chance to participate in this idea to become the most respected global wellness community. And we've got the products that can really make global wellness, that can change people's lives, just one person at a time. We got all that in place. Then we got the new sleep system that I think is going to really be a game changer, because I really believe this simpler, more elegant system, it's going to be lighter, easier to carry, easier to demo. It's going to cost less, and it's going to produce better results. I predict it's going to really, you'll feel a big difference. It's got the original waffle kind of pattern that just feels so good. And I just can't wait to get on it and laying on my back and putting my bare feet back and forth, rubbing on the thing, on that waffly pattern. This is going to be really good. And I've already seen one of the seat cushions from South America, and it has, you know, much like the one here, but I unzipped it and looked inside, and yeah, it's got the original rubber thing kind of stuff and the original kind of magnets and stuff. So I think it's I think we're in for a really good ride if we hustle. So everything involves work. When you're relaunching, you actually got to be thinking, okay, I'm going to hustle with this. When I did lights, I'd always have this kind of game that, okay, yeah, it's time to go home, and then I'd say, well, let me do a couple of more calls, and you know, if you're bringing in your senior partner, one of the other things that's in the scriptures is, I think the Lord really loves people that go the extra mile, go that second mile. And so, and we've all heard this idea that you will succeed if you, in your mind, think everything depends on me as far as the work. So I'm going to work as though it all depends on me, and then I'm going to pray as though it all depends on the Lord. If you put that together and do something that's right, and you think about what we're doing, you know, people are in pain, they hurt, and a lot of it is magnetic deficiency syndrome or the wrong kind of water. These are things that can optimize the human environment. And so you got to inside believe in the goodness, the rightness, the value, that this is worthy of your effort and commitment. And then mentally just say, okay, I'm going to hustle. I'm going to really try really hard to just make a whole bunch of new friends and let them know about these wonderful products, and mentally, what's the best for them, rather than you know, I'm going to sell them stuff. A thing that stuck in my mind from Zig Ziglar was, you know, in the old days of pots and pans, he says mentally, he says, when I'd go see somebody, I think in my mind, my goodness, they've got my money in their wallet. And then he would say, but that's okay, because I've got their pots and pans out in my car. And in a way that's kind of funny, but if you can just kind of get the money thing out of the way, because my favorite Zig Ziglar thing is, and we've all heard this, that if you just give enough other people what they want, help other people get what they want, and you'll automatically get what you want. And so it really is the law of the harvest, just losing yourself in others. But everybody really does need a waterfall. Everybody really does need a sleep system, and the KVB, the Greenzymes, the tape, all this kind of stuff is fun stuff to use and share.
Anybody else got any questions they want to ask Dave?
There's your chance.
Be shy.
Okay, Dave, I have a question. This
Sure.
is Kathy. At the I know you're older than I am, but I also know you started before I did. And I'm really trying to overcome and set my intention beyond what my barriers. I seem to have my own barriers. Do you have any suggestions for overcoming those barriers?
Yeah, just do it anyway.
Well,
Well, one of the things I think is really important is, and we put together kind of core activities that you should do every day, and some of it is the work. You know, add at least one name to your list. You know, build a list and keep adding people to it, and then contact people consistently. Ideally, add names and talk to people every day and follow up. But what really helps get you ready for that is you know, to attract, you need to be attractive, and you know, to do that, it's so much like Jim Rohn talks about is working on yourself, and Nikan and all of these kind of businesses, anything to do with sales, so much of it is personal development. You know, working on yourself, listening to good things, stay away from the news. Don't be real careful who's renting any space in your head. So you know, just be really careful what you put in your mind. Just put you know, quality nutrition, as far as you know, reading good books, listening to good things, being in contact with the Nikan conversation, being around people that are where you want to be. That's just a really critical thing. Jim Rohn talks about you are the average of the 5 people you associate with most, and so that's one of the quickest ways to change your life, is change your environment, and you just kind of will get pulled along. And so just if you're the sharpest person in your group, it's time to get another group. And
well, okay. So there's certain, I mean, if you're more or less surrounding yourself with positivity,
mhm,
people of faith,
mhm.
um, people that you want to make contact with, do you consider, especially in this day and age, politics to be poisonous to the mind?
Oh, wow, they're trying to make it that. You know, just the news. I think it's different than I remember when I was younger. It just feels like they're trying to poison minds. It actually feels like that. So I really try to stay away. There's, if you're going to get into the news, try to find something, you know, that's positive and hope building, and
Right.
yeah, I just kind of try to minimize that. Even your friends where you're maybe similar in your values, beliefs, and all of that kind of stuff. Uh, uh, you know, it can be a really good thing when you're meeting someone, to find something in common. That's a way to really click with somebody, and that's a goal to do. Sometimes politics might work that way in a way, but you don't want to get pulled into it too much, because well, I've got a friend. I recruited him uh, last summer, and he's a really nice guy, a little younger than me. I was hoping we could really help him, because he's got some health challenges, and he got on auto ship with KVB and a few other things, and started going for walks, and all of a sudden, probably a couple of times a day, I get a text from him on something political, and he's just totally consumed. That's his day, and he feels that's really important. And I don't know. I don't know what difference he's making watching someone else's content, and then probably sharing it with a bunch of other people. Um, I'm just thinking, I if I got into that, I'd get so depressed. I just think so I myself I just think, okay, I can be in an arena where I know I'm doing something really good because I'm helping one person at a time in something that we're all interested in. No matter what your persuasion is, if you can stay healthy, you don't want to go to a hospital right now. That's where sick people are.
Right.
And if you can offer things for people where they're healthy, and then what a wonderful thing is half of the population has suffered financially this last year. Half.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to the numbers are probably going to go higher. Just kind of guessing how things are headed, but that makes it all the more, I think, appropriate to have a home-based business. Amazing tax advantages as well as income opportunities, and if you just sell a couple of waterfalls a month, that could make a huge difference. So, but again, yeah, be careful what you allow in your head, and just kind of think, well, what else is new? There's always challenges. I think there's some extra challenges right now, but that kind of fits in with, um, you know, all we can do is all we can do, and just decide how you want to spend your life. And I think one of the things I think inside all of us is we want to feel significance, and that's what my friend, I think he's feeling significant because he's hearing things that he thinks, that he wants to, I don't look at hardly any of it, and I haven't. It's easy for me to just say look at it, and I'll usually, maybe every few days, I'll send him something, and it's always something positive, maybe get his mind thinking somewhere else. But I doubt he'll ever do anything business wise, because he's gone down the rabbit hole, and it's just
Yeah.
uh,
Well, one of my most recent examples I was thinking about, I had a set of twin beds that I had in my bedroom for when my grandchildren visited. Loved them, absolutely loved them. And now we want to do something different with that room, and it means getting rid of those twin beds, but they're not selling. And I finally realized and admitted, I don't want to get rid of them. I don't want to sell them. And so they're not selling. I think our intention is so powerful that we don't even understand it.
that's a good point. As an example, if you think, oh, I love these products, but oh golly, they're so expensive. Well, you'll telegraph that, and people will bring up the same objections that you have, or you think, oh, if only this wasn't network marketing. Well, then people will bring that up because you'll be broadcasting it. So you got to get it all in your head right, that this is good, and pretty much all of the stuff that you might have objections with, if there's probably a reason, and you can kind of put out in your mind, why do I think that? Well, if I just looked at a magnet, and as an example, what have I? Like this right here is an example. This tape. That's probably not a really good example, because just regular tape is about the same price, and this has all the magic technology in it. But like as an example, if I had a power chip and it just said, this is a magnet and it costs $20, would you like to buy it? Well, probably not. But if you put it on and it makes you feel better, like this right here. I've got a bad wrist, but as long as I wear this, my wrist works really well. And that's one of the most wonderful bargains I've ever had. It's just amazing. And so I love talking about that. And I've always got my demo. So if I'm meeting somebody and they say, what do you do, and stuff like that, and I just tell, well, I'm helping bring some technologies to market that were developed in Japan, I think they're breakthrough. I think they're going to be game changers. As an example, a lot of people have repetitive motion problems and they do surgery and stuff. And this is around $30. And we've had people schedule for surgery and they bought one of these and they didn't ever do their surgery. And they said, what? I said, hey, let me try this. And so I'll, put it on them and do the finger pull apart. And, most of the time it works. And I've sold quite a few of these right off my wrist. And so you just you learn to talk about these. But if I went up to somebody and say, hey, this is $30, would you like to buy it? You build value. And the same thing with network marketing as an example of, if somebody has got a problem with that, it's probably because everything they've learned about network marketing is they've learned it from people that do it wrong. And that's, barf on people and they're pushy and they're thinking, what I'm going to get out of this, I want to recruit you so I can build a business. And that people get that feeling. But boy, it's the most pure, wonderful, equitable. It's the only way to do business. Once you get a taste of it, nothing is as good. So this is really good stuff.
Thank you. I agree. I'm seeing my issues. I'm working to overcome them.
Oh, we've all got issues, and it's a constant process, and you got to stick. You got to keep working on them, or they might come back too. So
That's right.
But the wonderful thing is, over time, you keep building, and you're creating around you your own reality. That this is good product. That it does have good value. It can be a viable business because it's being reinforced by your own experience. And what's been said that I love is, a person with an opinion is never at the mercy of someone with experience. And so your experience is always going to outshine somebody's opinion.
I like that. So an experience outweighs an opinion every time.
Yeah. All right. Anything else I can help anybody with?
No, I was just going to say thank you for taking the time to do this today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dave.
Yes, we greatly appreciate it. You're always an inspiring speaker.
Oh, you're
Right.
wonderful. Well, love you guys. And just to read Kimball's thing, we're all in this together. So what a team. So
They're a great team. All right. Thanks, Dave. And we'll see you later.
take
Thank
care.
you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Love you.